What's up, love bugs? Coming to you again. It's your girl Tanisha. It's a Sunday afternoon, about 6:13 in the afternoon. I was like, you know what? I see all these people doing story time, so let me come on here and tell me a few stories. So I'm gonna tell you the story of the one and only time I got arrested and put in jail. So when I was in college, I went to Georgia State University here in Atlanta. Go Panthers. So one night, I used to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, I know, y'all. Terrible habit. Used to smoke cigarettes. So I know people always texting me while I'm on a video. Anyway, so I was at the Village. This is when it was the Village downtown Atlanta. Now Georgia Tech owns it, but it was called the Village. At that point in time, it was where the Olympians stayed when they came here to Atlanta. So I stayed there. One night I went to go get some cigarettes, and I left my license with the store clerk or something like that. So what happened was the next day I went out and I was driving somewhere, and I did not have my license on me, my driver's license. So I'm driving, and where the Coca-Cola building is, right there on North Avenue, some man, as I'm going, some man does a quick U-turn, pulls out in front of me, so I hit him, right? So me being who I am, I'm like, this is about to be this dude's fault, and the police gonna come, write him a ticket, blah, 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 woo. So the police come, they write the man a ticket, but I didn't have my driver's license on me. So they were like, well, what's your social security number? Because at this point in time, Georgia used your social security number on your driver's license instead of your regular ID number. So I gave them my social security number, and it was a black lady, and a black police officer, and she went back and she ran my social security number. So I'm sitting in the car, smoking my cigarette or whatever situation may be. She comes up to the car and say, I'm going to need you to put your cigarette out. I'm like, okay. So I put my cigarette out. Then she was like, I'm gonna need you to stand up. Okay. So I stand up. She was like, put your hands behind your back. And then she starts reading me my Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Nothing you say. At this point in time, I'm 17 years of age. I start crying profusely. I'm like, why am I being arrested? She was like, well, you didn't have your driver's license on you, but when we ran your driver's license number, your social security number, it came back that you fit the description of somebody wanted for strong armed robbery. Huh? You talking about somebody that was like, what the heck are you talking about? She said, you fit the description of somebody wanted for strong armed robbery. Now, there's been a lot of things I wanted to do in my life, but I've never rob someone, and especially not strong arm robbery. I mean, that means like going up in there with a gun, like pow pow, get on the floor, give me everything you need type situation. No, I've never done that. So anyway, leaving from there, she called to have my car impounded, and she called a paddy wagon, an Atlanta Police Department paddy wagon. Now, the paddy wagon, I'm telling you, I've never been arrested before this. This is my first time being arrested, but it was a doozy. The paddy wagon comes. Now, in the back of the paddy wagon is already an older man. Now, in the paddy wagons in the back of the Atlanta PD paddy wagons, it's separated in the middle. So, I guess you could put women on one side and men on the other side. So, the man who came to pick us up, and the police officer who came to pick us up in the paddy wagon, he put me in the back on one side, and then the old man was on the other side. So we're driving, well, we riding in the back, and the old man, he look all unkept or whatever, and he just looking down, and I'm just like looking around like, what in the world is happening at this point in time? So we make a stop somewhere else. I guess somebody else had got arrested. It was a young man. Now, the young man, another police officer escorted the young man onto the men's side of the paddy wagon, and they get in there. So he's sitting next to the old man. I'm sitting on the other side of the paddy wagon, just looking at them. They looking at me. And I'm talking about, you talk about one of the most uneasiest feelings in the world. So we going. So all of a sudden, I don't know if one of them touched the other one or what happened, but the old man get mad at the young man and kind of like nudge him with his shoulder, talking about some, y'all young niggas. I'm like, mind you, I'm a 17-year-old female straight out of suburbs of Dunwoody, Georgia, who happens to be going to school in Atlanta. These young niggas, you need to pull up your pants. All y'all do is sell dope. You with your boots on. I mean, the old man started going off on the young dude. And the young dude like, man, sit your old dirty ass, the dirty ass down. And the old man like, you young niggas, that's why I can't stand y'all young niggas. This is what he was saying. So, we ride. We end up at the Atlanta Detention Center on Rice Street, downtown Atlanta. They take me out. I remember I had on a white sweater and some blue jeans. So they take me out. I'm still handcuffed or whatever. They pat me down. She tell me to take off my shoes. She look inside my shoes. Nothing there. She tell me to put my shoes. I think put my shoes back on. They escort me to a holding cell. And I'm in there by myself. So I'm in there by myself. And that was like, I get to make one phone call. So I'm looking around. And I see real criminals. Like alcoholics, drug users, thugs, all kind of stuff. Now, mind you, I'm just a 17-year-old girl out of Dunwoody, Georgia. And by that time, I had been living in Atlanta for about maybe like 3 years, or in the suburbs of Atlanta for like 3 years. So where I was from, which was the hood in Michigan, I kind of was deluded from that. So that right there was a snap back into reality about the hood of life. So I'm looking around. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm calling my mom. I don't even know if she answered. Between my mom and my auntie, I was blowing their cell phone up that night. So for whatever reason, I don't think I could see a judge. Or I couldn't see, I don't even know why they was holding me. But lo and behold, they came and got me out the holding cell after a while. They escorted me to this big old gym. Now, in this gym was a whole bunch of women. A whole bunch of women. Young, medium age, old. So, that's where I had to stay. So, they supplied you with a cot. They supplied you with a cot in this big old gym that was cold and stinking, right? So one of the security officers, the correctional officer, she was like, what are you doing here? I guess I was sticking out like a sore thumb. She was like, what are you doing here? You don't even look like you belong here. I'm like, ma'am, I don't belong here. All I did was get into a car accident with somebody and now I'm in jail. She was like, oh, well, okay. Well, I guess you'll see the judge in the morning. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So I got to spend the whole night here. So that night, while in that gym, I met a young girl who her and her friends had jumped on another girl. Now, I'm sitting around listening to their stories, sitting there just looking like, this one girl, her and her friends had jumped on the girl at the club. She was telling about how she was beating her up and boom, 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 boom. Then there was another lady, and this was so sad to me. And I remember this lady, and I don't know if this lady's still alive or not. But this lady, she said she was about like 45 years of age, right? And she was just walking around, pacing around. So, but she looked like she was about 65, 70. She had like maybe like 1 or 2 teeth. She didn't have on really a lot of clothes. She was real, real skinny. So she got to talking. I don't know if she was talking to me or if she was talking to somebody else. But in the midst of her conversation, she was talking about how she does 8 balls, which was crack cocaine mixed with heroin. And so I guess that's the reason why her face was dark. She looked like she could have been pretty back in the day. But that day, nope, wasn't nothing pretty about that situation right there. She was like 45 years old, but I swear on everything, she looked like she was about 65, 70 years of age. That's what those drugs had done to her. So I remember that night they gave us dinner. It was like a bologna sandwich and a juice, like one of them little juices that you get when you get free lunch at school. I remember being real, real cold. Like they gave, like the mattress that they had on top of the cot was only about like this thick. And I remember whatever they gave me, the little cover that they gave me, it wasn't keeping me warm at all because the gym was cold. That's what I remember. So I remember waking up the next day early in the morning. And I remember somebody coming to get me saying, you've been bailed out. And it was my mom and my auntie had bailed me out. I spent a total of 23 hours and 8 minutes in jail. Because I kept watching the clock like, ain't nobody came to get me yet. Ain't nobody came to sign no paper. Why am I still here? I don't understand. Why am I still here? So anyway, my mom and them came to get me. They picked me up. My clothes smelled like pee. I didn't pee on myself, but the environment that I was in, it smelled like pee and like a lot of urine, and like it just smelled like dirtiness. Man, when I got home, I took that sweater off. I took them jeans off. I threw them bad boys in the trash. Took the best shower in the world. I'm talking about I think I just stood in the shower like. Took the best shower in the world. Baby. That's one thing I don't ever want to do. Get arrested. That's just the worst feeling in the world to me. I don't like not having my freedom. I be praying like, look, Lord, please, no mistaken identity, no nothing like that. Nothing. I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. Like, nah, you can do something else to him or her, but not jail. Don't give them jail. Because jail, man, I don't see how them people stay in there. And they stay in there for years. I guess after the initial shock, you get over it. But, man, no, I like my freedom. I love my freedom. So, look, if you ever been arrested, let me know how the situation went down. Put the information in my little comment box below. If you like these story times, thumbs up, definitely. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I share some other stuff that I went through throughout my life. I got a lot of experience that I done went through. I'm thinking about the next time telling you how I lost my virginity. Not in graphic detail, because this is not an X-rated channel. But just tell you how it all went down. So, I don't know. Hit me up if you've been arrested, if you've been incarcerated or something like that. Let me know how it all went down, okay? Again, this has been your girl, Tanisha, coming to you, giving you a hug from afar. And until next time, bye!